Hey there, Sabine here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today is the video for day 30 of the 90-day visibility challenge. And for obvious reasons, I'm really excited because I'm a third of the way there. When I originally had the insight or the idea to record this series, I was only going to do 30 days. And then I heard in my spirit, you need to go 90 days. And so 90 days was a tough order, or at least it felt like a really tough order at the time, simply because I had no idea what I was going to talk about for 90 days or that I had anything to say every single day for 90 days. But here we are on day 30. And so, as a heads up for today and tomorrow, I'm just going to do a little bit of reflection over the last 30 days. So, today I'm going to talk about the top three things that are my takeaways from the first 15 days. And then tomorrow's video is going to be focused on the remaining days. Again, I am still outside of my comfort zone in a different space. So forgive the lighting, forgive the sound. Here we are. Here we are. And so, as I mentioned in my first video, when I started this challenge, a few people made mention of their observations that there was a part of me that I was not yet comfortable sharing or being open to being seen in ways that actually mattered. And so this between them and my spirit giving me the green light, this was kind of the thing that I used to one, face whatever fears were lingering beneath the surface around visibility, two, to show myself that I could stand in this place, and then three, to do something that I do so naturally for myself and oftentimes in private spaces with others, and that's just allowing whatever my spirit needs to say to be said in that moment. And yet, while I can do that naturally in small spaces that aren't in front of the camera, there was something that was stopping me from being able to do that on a platform or on any platforms. And so this was really a growth opportunity for me in more ways than one, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, you name it. And so I'm grateful for those of you who have come along the journey with me so far the last 30 days. I'm also grateful for those of you who will be joining, from this day forward, so to speak. But the things that I wanted to share specifically within the first 15 days is that we throw around the word authenticity quite often, and you see it everywhere, especially in leadership and coaching circles. And, what I realized through this process is that authenticity actually requires courage. We think that someone being authentic is being their real self all the time, right? And obviously that's true. That's part of the definition of the word. But I think sometimes authenticity is discovering who you really are and having the courage to discover the truth about yourself, and whether that truth is positive as you would label it or whether that truth is not so positive, being okay and being willing to uncover those things about yourself. And so as I've been going through this challenge, I've been sharing real experiences that were happening in real time. And so there was nothing that I shared that I hadn't first lived. If you watch any of the videos, the examples are my own examples. And sometimes those things came to me in the moment. And so I would encourage you that, especially if you're grappling with what it means to be authentic, I'm encouraging you to, this goes back to one of the videos that I shared earlier, which is really around self-acceptance, right? Being able to accept the light and the shadow side of you. That is being authentic. Being able to stand in what feels good or what's acceptable to others, as well as those parts about you and your personality and your makeup that isn't pleasing to everyone. That is being authentic. Being able to, rise in your divinity while also being clearly and very aware of your humanity and your shortcomings. That is being authentic. And so my invitation to you today and every single day is that you look at the parts of you that make you who you are. Every single one of those parts are important. And even the parts that are still developing, they are important. They are part of your authenticity path, if you will. The other insight that I want to share is that self-trust is built one decision at a time. So I made the commitment to show up for 90 days without actually knowing what I was going to talk about, without a plan, without a strategy, without a detailed content plan. I trusted that what needed to be said every single day would come through me as long as I was willing to show up and press that record button and then do what I needed to do to post it. And so there have been days like yesterday, I sat in front of the Zoom and I just stared until words came to me. And then there were days where I just started talking and the information that needed to flow that day flowed. And so this was me showing up as me fully in more ways than one, in the part of me that is intellectual and quick on her feet and has a really great memory and can, recall things really quickly. But then there's the other part of me that is spiritual, that knows that I am simply a vessel for God's truth, God's light, God's power to flow through me. And so part of this journey for me has been leaning in a lot more on that part, not just for my own private moments or the private moments that I have for people who are in my circle, but for everyone. And so I'm sharing this to say that, while this journey wasn't and has not been scripted, I have literally been writing the pages of this journey every single day for the last 30 days. I still feel powerful. I still feel empowered. I don't necessarily feel in control. I feel like that was part of my gift in this process, to learn to let go of control and to allow myself to be supported in seen and unseen ways. And so I'm hoping that for those of you, again, who've been following this journey, that you've taken the reflection questions, you've been able to apply them to your own life. You've been able to begin to shift some of your own paradigms, some of your own old ways of thinking and being to evolve to the next level. And I just look forward to continuing this journey with you. So tomorrow's video is going to focus on the learning lessons from days 15 to 30. And I look forward to seeing you share, be it in the comments, send me a DM, whatever that looks like for you. What has been most impactful for you if you've been following the journey for the last 30 days, or even if you've only watched one video, right? What's been the most impactful for you? What's different about you today than the version of you that was here on October 1st? With that, have a great rest of the day, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.